Hey New York, this is Clark with NYC Pigeon Air Conditioner. So I wanted to take some time and just kind of go over some questions that a lot of New Yorkers have about pigeons, pigeon control, and pigeon removal. So the basic answer is, why do we have so many pigeons all over the place? They were introduced to the city several hundred years ago. Europeans who came here, they introduced the pigeon to New York City, and the reason that they've taken to the city is several reasons, but the main reason is that a lot of the structures and buildings and so forth, they actually replicate the pigeon's indigenous environment. So pigeons are cliff dwellers. They like mountains, cliffs, caverns, things like that. And your building, to them, your 6-story, 8-story building, your fire escape, these are, this is what they're used to. This is what they're accustomed to. This is the kind of structures they like to or areas they like to make nests in. So it's only natural for them to kind of take to New York City because there's so many places for them to make nests. The other problem is that they don't migrate. Like other birds you may see, and when it gets cool, they leave the city, or cold, they leave the city. They go down south, but pigeons, they're here all year long, and they make a lot of babies. They make a lot of eggs. So another question that people have is, why are the pigeons on or underneath my air conditioner? Again, because of their preference for mountains and cliffs. Your building and your air conditioner, your window AC, is a perfect location. In fact, I even joke with some customers. I tell them, like, a good window AC is kind of like a penthouse to a pigeon, because let's say you have an air conditioner that's been installed in the window for a few years, and it's a large AC. The birds see that as like a penthouse. They'll make a nice nest there, and with a good nest, they can keep themselves from a lot of sunlight, and then adversely they can keep themselves from a lot of cold air, rain, snow, and so forth. So your big window AC may be great for you, but it's also serving as a home for the pigeons. So again, we specialize in removing them, so we can also talk to you about solutions for removing. Some other people want to know, why are there so many pigeon droppings on my building, or why are there so many pigeon droppings near my building? Unfortunately, the birds like to make nests near a food source. I can only tell you what I've seen. So some birds will just like hang out, they'll make a nest, or they'll hang out on buildings where they know where they're going to get fed. I've seen on several occasions where people are actually feeding the birds. So you may have a neighbor who thinks that that what they're doing is harmless and they're helping the birds out. The problem is, a lot of times the birds, and this could go on for years, it can start out very innocuously. Your neighbor may be lonely, or they just may like birds, and they just feed the birds, come onto their roof, or they go into their backyard and feed the birds, and then the birds come back to your building and defecate. And unfortunately, of course, it can really damage a building, and it's a huge problem. So talk to us about like nest removal, and before we do any proofing, we always tell people, like, if we're gonna pigeon proof a whole building, we tell people, look, it's the first thing is we have to find out where the nest is. So what is the cost of removing a nest? So quite often, do we remove pigeon nests? Yes, we do. So this would involve, of course, removing your air conditioner, then transporting the nest to a bird sanctuary. And this is something we've done for many New Yorkers. Do you do pigeon feces or pigeon dropping removal cleanup? Yes, we do. We have a pressure cleaner, and so if you have a lot of feces around your window or around your building, your property owner, you can talk to us about having pigeon feces removed from all parts of your building. We'll pressure wash and pressure clean the structure, and work with you to get those pigeon feces removed. because it does damage your structure because it is acidic. All right, so again, thank you for tuning in to this is like our first podcast for NYC Pigeon Air Conditioner. If you have any questions about pigeon removal or nest removal or pigeon control, feel free to reach out to us. 347-719-1499. You can call or text 347-719-1499, or you can also send us an email at NYC Pigeon Air Conditioner all together at gmail.com. That's NYC Pigeon Air Conditioner at gmail.com. All right. I look forward to working with you. Bye.